Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys. We are here in location at Liberty City Anime Con in New York City, and I'm here with none other than Heather Walker. How are you doing today?
I am so awesome. I just had a crazy panel and a crazy autograph signing, so I'm pretty pumped right now, actually. This is such a crazy, fun con. More people need to come out next year because this is one of the best I've seen.
And from what I've heard, they'll be changing to a bigger hotel, so the attendance cap should go higher. So definitely keep in touch. And what's it like working in the industry today?
Well, I mean, for me personally, it's a really amazing experience. I'm not in the same kind of competitive market as some people, so I'm just doing my creatures and just kind of steadily working on that kind of stuff. So I'm actually in a great place in the industry right now.
It's definitely a lot of fun from what I've learned.
Yeah.
Yep. And what is your favorite show that you've worked on so far?
That's gonna definitely be a tough one because I have several, but I guess my favorite show would have to be Fairy Tale because that's everybody's favorite show, but also I've done so much work on it. And then obviously my husband we live and breathe it. But I would say second up, as surprising as it is for most people, would be Torco. And I'm just a little bird, but that little bird has my heart. And then the rest of the cast is so genius on it that when I watch it, I can't handle how funny I think it is, and the writing's so great.
Since you mentioned Fairy Tale, what was it like performing on the show?
Oh, well, I've been lucky in that I've had several different characters. So performing for Fairy Tale is for me, it's been life-changing, actually. I've gotten to do things that I really never had a chance to do before. I've been, the bad girl, Valley Girl villain, and, that's, such a super cool thing for someone that, I'm an old Riot girl, and so Kathleen Hanna is part of what I channeled for, Mary Hughes, but then also getting to be Jimmy, a celestial spirit. I'm a Kogi Pond fan from back in the day. So to me that was the embodiment of that, and then even being my silly flying rat, that was one of the best times I've ever had because I got to spread stinky stuff everywhere and got to use a vocal part of me that hadn't really gotten to be used before. So I don't know. And then I'm so many additional characters. I can ask you what kind of apple you want in a village and things like that.
Also, what was it like working on ShangriLa?
One of my favorites, one of my absolute favorites. It was hard, honestly. It was very hard. It was a very emotional experience, and it was very emotionally rewarding because my character, Hiriko, is, sort of I would call him a gender-free abuse character, and, I spend most of my time screaming. It is the one show I've worked on, well, not the only performance, but whatever, that I really wish I could go back, and there's a couple little things I wish I could tweak, which is interesting as an actor to kind of realize oh, I've grown since then, and I would do that different. But overall, I probably have never gotten so much out of a performance. Screaming for 5 minutes in a booth is ouch, but also it's cathartic. I've never walked away and felt I got so much out. It was wow, I'm completely free of negativity or negative emotions, So it's really cool.
Yeah, and out of all the voices that you've done work on, who would you be? And you can mix and match.
Ooh, who would I be?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm a dork, I'm a bird watcher, and a nature lover in general. So actually, I would want to be a cross between two different birds. which is so weird. But I would love to be Krupo. Krupo has this innocence to him. This is from Torco. This super innocence that I just love. And then Peggy has more of like a protective vibe. And like I really, really love Peggy so much. And I think Peggy's more male, which is weird because Peggy, but it's Pegu or something like that. Penguin, I think, is what it's supposed to be. But like a flying penguin with like, you know, all that goldfish stuff and like, oh, it's like living in like a fantasy world. So yeah, I mean, I guess my dream, like, if there is a such thing as reincarnation, I'd love to be a bird, so I can't really pass up my birds.
Yeah. And in regards to another show, also known as Torco, what was it like performing in that show?
Torco. One of the it's one of my favorite shows in general, obviously, but performing for it was actually really cool because it was the first time I had a long version of a Pokemon type character. So, you know, like you hear about Vin Diesel saying I am Groot in 100 different languages or something like that. And that's how I approached Krupo too, where it's like, I have to get this, I have to make this emotional response out of just like one word. I mean, or then bird sounds. But I got to use my warble, and like there's actually there's one memory where Krupo is mad, and like I'm in the, you know, I'm like, I'm Krupo, you know, and it was just like, it was fun. I don't know. I mean, it's a dream come true.
Another show that most people aren't too known, well, it's not well known, is what's it like working on Tokyo ESP?
That was so awesome. I got to be a reporter, so that was fun because like, there's chaos and like, you know, you're reporting this chaos. So like, it's not like this, but it was like, you know, like a building's falling down, like a 9/11 sort of situation. It's like, I don't know what, you know, as a reporter, like who knows if I'm going to live or die. And it's a very small character, but still. And then doing Peggy, I auditioned for it and I begged for it and I proved myself for it. Things don't just come because you know someone, although it helps. But the animation in that show really, really like is like my style in general. It's got this surrealism, and you know the other characters and things like that are fun to play off of. So even though I know sometimes being like a penguin like sounds like, you know, ooh, that's not much of a character, it is. And I loved it. I loved doing that performance. I love Peggy. I truly love Peggy. I tried to give Peggy some real life, you know.
Yeah, and another show that you did work on, Makenki, what was it like performing in that show?
Actually, that's a little different because that was the first audition that I did, and I actually nabbed the role I wanted. Yeah, and I had I really like didn't believe that I could possibly have been Aki. Like everybody, like honestly, when us girls are auditioning for this stuff, everybody wants to be the wildest in a way, you know, and so. It was super cool, but I will say, I can tell you a funny story. Okay, so, like, the first time I was supposed to go in, I've got, like, 4 hours to do Aki. It got, like, rescheduled, like, after I waited an hour, which doesn't happen at Funimation often. Things are very professional, but, like, it was, like, this, like, oh, you know, like, I'd gotten ready, I look cute, you know, it doesn't matter if you look cute, but I did, you know, so it was like, oh, weird, okay, so it was, like, a week later that I come in to do it, and Joel, like, Joel was directing, so Joel made fun of me like a lot. So there's a whole lot of like, you know, obvious nuance with Aki that you have to do, double entendres. You know, it's comic relief, it's hypersexual, but like with like a twist that sort of got this own. You know, she's kind of dumb, and I love her for it. But yeah, okay. So I'm really pretty new to everything, and we have literally a group of teenagers come through for a tour, okay? And like I'm doing like Aki, so you know I'm high up in this voice, I'm sing-songy, I'm slinky, whatever, and I'm trying to be cool because like I'm new. I'm like now I think I would handle it a little differently, but whatever. So like they come through and they have to see like a pretty hypersexualized scene because there's no other thing without with Aki. And Joel turns and says to teenagers in a good, I mean, like they're late teen, they're probably 20s. I don't know what they were, but like it's not children. Just so everybody knows, not children. It's people of age enough to be okay with this. But he turns and he says, and this is when an actress's real life experiences help them act. And like I was just like. It was like, oh my god, yeah, seriously, like it was hilarious though, and so like I just started laughing and like pretty much was like I hate you, Joel, like forever. And Kevin, like I don't know if you know who Kevin Leisure is. He's not at Funimation anymore, making money somewhere else, but he was the engineer, and like literally he's just like, like. But it's the only audition I've ever had with in a show that literally they said when I walked out, they said like, that's hers, there's no one else that's gonna do this, which is so weird because it's Aki, but I do love her. I love my dumb nurse.
Yeah, and for our viewers, how would they be able to get a hold of you on social media?
Pretty much, Heather Walker at Facebook, and my personal page is open for fans. I do that for a reason because I am performance art. No, but for real, I like people to be to see who I really am. And if you want to delete me after that, that's fine too. I don't care. There's actually also a fan page called Hello Nurse, Heather Walker's fan page, and you can just do Heather Walker Hello Nurse, and that's where we keep it a little bit more just about like my roles, and you're not hearing so much about me, so you don't. But and then also I'm on Twitter, and you can look that up. Obviously Heather Walker, but it's Scissorhands11. Big fan of Edward Scissorhands, so I'm Heather Scissorhands. And also I'm a hairdresser because you can't make all your money off of acting. So Scissorhands11, and then Instagram Scissorhands11. I no longer do Snapchat because they're racist, and I would like to say that out loud. All of their filters are whitewashing people or making fun of different races, and I'm not for that. Black Lives Matter, and it's not just Black lives, it's all lives, but I'm not all lives matter because it's a real movement for justice in America, for our, yes, thank you, for Black humanity. But I'm not a big fan of calling a filter anime, but then giving it such a yellow face appearance. So I'm not on Snapchat.
Yeah, and also, is there anything that has come out recently or will be coming out recently that you would like to plug into our fans at this time?
Totally. I'm so excited that, okay, it's like the smallest thing ever, but I'm Norman in Tales of Zestiria, which you can actually see at Funimation now. If you pay your $8 a month, and it's totally worth it, not just for Norman, but for everything else you get. And then also Overlord is coming out, and that was actually one of my bigger dreams, was to snag Hemsky, which is the hamster that's the wise king of the forest. And I will just, do you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so driving to Funimation, okay, and I don't know, I can't remember what, did I have my registration out? Something dumb, something Heather would do. And so I turn into Funimation lot, and a cop's following me, and the only parking place, and I just want to get into one, I'm that kind of person, because there's not many over there, but the only parking place is literally at Kyle's window, who's the director, Kyle Phillips of Overlord. So it's a gigantic window, so everybody sees this. As I pull in, the cop pulls me over, which is just okay, and you can kind of see, it's you can't really see them looking at you, but they are, and I'm texting them, and they're like, yeah, we're watching. But the cop still gives me a ticket, but he got so into it that he kept me for a while, just talking about me being a hamster and stuff. He's like, well, what are you doing in there? And I'm like, I'm gonna be a hamster today. He's like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, I'm an actress. He's like, that's acting, And I'm like, yeah, that's actually super acting. It's way harder than regular acting. No, I'm joking. But it was hilarious to be like pulled over in front of my peers, but also just like to be telling a cop I'm about to be a hamster. I swear he shouldn't have given me a ticket. That should have been good enough. That should have made his day.
Yeah, what's more
Oh, I
important?
did get a warning. It's true. Hamsky saved me. That's why you want to be the wise king of the forest.
Yay! Yep. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm David.
I'm Heather Walker.
Yep. And thanks for tuning in to the Ohio Guys, everyone. See you next time.